assault to the nerve centers. Steven?
Yes?
Steven, I don't think we would all appreciate you filming every event that takes place back here.
You guys might be upset about playing here again. Why?
It's a great show. I ain't even fucking tired.
The kids were great. They were funny. They threw glass at us. They spit. They puked. I'm glad!
See this? This is one of the main things that a band gets while they're on the road. Right here, well, these are little sandwiches. There's some white bread with some mayonnaise on it. And a little piece of lettuce. Get your veggies. Then, okay, well, you've had your sandwich. You might wash it down with a little milk or a little Perrier. You never know. There's cookies. Fruit's real good for you. There's melon. Grapes. Atate! Atate! All on a bed of iceberg lettuce.
To Night Thoughts, the Cars podcast. The Panorama's #1 source for news, reviews, and thoughts about the new wave rock legends, the Cars. Oh, and a little bit of Steel Wool, Sunshine, and Rainbows.
Hey, welcome to Night Thoughts, the Cars podcast. I'm Dave, and I'm full of pretentious bullshit. Joining me is the most sunshiny, rainbowy mother-in-law anyone could have, Donna Sweet Purple June.
Aww. Hi.
Oh, dear Lord, I hope that girl likes Huckleberry Taffy.
Oh, she does. She's a good girl.
Oh, good. Good.
She's a
Fantastic.
Good girl.
All right.
Hi, how are you?
Just fine. So you're coming off your big wedding event.
Yes. My son got married, and like you said, I'm a mother-in-law now. Wow.
How many Cars songs did they play?
0.
Man, when I was married in 2001, I actually went over to the JJ and said, "Hey, you need to play something by the Cars." He had to pull out a cassette of Heartbeat City.
Wow. Well, that was back in the day before everyone makes their own playlists and,
Yeah.
But they didn't have as much music as I was thinking that they were going to have. But it was really fun. They did like group dances. Like they taught everybody how to do the Virginia Reel. And what was the other dance? It was some Scottish dance. It was really fun. Yeah, it was. See, and I'm a recipe follower. Like, I don't like to just dance because I know I look stupid.
Look like Elaine?
Oh, yes, worse. Elaine having a seizure.
Full body heave.
Oh, yeah, exactly. So when you have steps that you have to follow, like I can follow a recipe, I can get in the groove, and then I just have such a blast. It's so fun. But so yeah, that was the way to go, I think. And it got a ton of got all the teenagers involved and just got a ton of people out there. So it was really fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah. What song did you have played as your husband-wife dance when you got married?
That would be For the First Time at that wedding.
Wait, what?
For the First Time.
Who's that?
Remember, I got all verklempt about that. Remember we were talking about Kenny Loggins, the horror of movie soundtrack?
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot. I apologize.
Yeah.
Mine was Soul Provider by Michael Bolton.
Really? You had the Bolton.
Yo,
wow.
Yeah. Oh, I was a big MB fan. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Really?
Yep.
It's good to know.
Is it though?
It hasn't changed my, thoughts of you one iota.
Oh, good.
All right. This is one of those times I kind of wish our podcast was on video.
Oh my so you can see me blush.
No, so you can see the look on my face when you said that.
Great.
Just picture it, listeners. Picture it.
Yeah.
All right.
Remind me to tell you again when we're in Boston. I'll take a picture of you.
Okay. Try and catch me off guard, though.
Okay.
I know it's coming. I can't do it. Right. Hey, speaking of Boston, that's in the
Yes.
news. We are less than a month away from
Oh,
the
yes.
4-book Boston event.
Yes, we are. It's very exciting. There's going to be some really cool people there. I'm just saying.
Oh, you're not going to name names?
Oh, well, I can name a few.
Rick Ocasek's jacket's going to be there.
Yes, sleeves and all. It's going to be awesome.
I'm going to get an autograph from Rick Ocasek's jacket.
That's weird. I'm going to leave some food bits on it. I'm going to put my mouth on it.
I want to wipe my nose on it.
Poor Eric.
And I'm totally checking the pockets. Sorry, but I am.
I know, we both are. In fact, I'm going to cut a little hole in the lining of the pocket and just feel around all down in there because you never know. You never know.
Eric doesn't know karate or anything, do you know?
We'll find out, I guess.
I guess we will.
Yeah, so Eric Barrow is going to be there, of course. And I can't remember if we talked about this before, but there's a guy named Ralph Fatello. He was in a band called the Vinnie Band, which was produced by David Robinson back in the 80s. And he's going to be there. Him and his wife are going to be there. He's excited. And so it's been fun to chat with him. And Kathy Sullivan, I can't remember if we've talked about her before, but Kathy Sullivan is an artist who does drawings, and she did this amazing drawing of Ben from the Midnight Special. And
oh, okay. That was one that was on Facebook.
Yes. Well, she's going to be there, and so really looking forward to meeting her in person, and that's going to be exciting. And then, there are a few others that I won't name. I won't name names, but some pretty awesome people. I'm excited.
It'll just be more people that you will introduce me to, and then 15 minutes later, I'll say, Donna, who was that you just...
I know. Why did I want to meet them?
Why did they hug me?
Yeah, I'm super excited. It's getting closer and ramping up, and it's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I've already figured out I have to up my my pocket change to go to Boston.
Yes.
I think I took 200 meal money, to Cleveland. Nah, that's not going to work in Boston. That's probably breakfast.
Yeah. Because did you notice the hotel doesn't have a continental breakfast included or anything? And it's like $20.
Yeah.
It's like 15 maybe. Still.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. I won't be eating that.
But hey, we'll be having fun. I'm telling you what. And you know what? This is one of those times where I will take the shampoo and conditioner from my room. Little soaps.
Yeah.
Taking them.
Yeah. That's right. You got to get your money's worth out of that joint.
First thing I'm going to do is call down the front desk. Yeah, can I get 10 bars of soap?
I'm really filthy.
I'm really dirty for my trip.
Yeah, that limousine I had to take because it was cheaper than an Uber.
No kidding.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm so looking forward to it. I'm super excited. I've been doing a lot of working on it a lot today. And Joe and I had a book meeting today, and just talking to different people about different aspects of it. I'm super jacked. It's going to be awesome.
Great. And I know you're probably not going to tell me. Do you know who the moderator is now?
No, not yet.
Oh, well, that's going to be me.
You're the backup for sure.
I'm the total backup.
You
moderator.
are.
You need somebody with speaking experience. That's me.
True.
I speak to I speak to hundreds of people every other week.
Yeah. Yes, but they're little people.
Sometimes tens.
Sometimes tens. Are any of them over the age of 12?
No, I'm talking about our listeners, Donna.
Oh, excuse me. I assumed you meant in your job.
Oh, no. No. Heck no, those kids aren't listening to me. Come on. Especially now. We're in the last week of the year.
Yep.
They're not. Well, I'll tell you a little story. This is how off base they are. We do the same thing every day as a part of our Avid program. And that's
Okay.
make sure you put your Avid heading at the top of your right-hand top of your paper. And I have it on my whiteboard, name, and then whatever subject it is, and then the date.
Okay.
Today, a student who's been with me all year turns this paper into me, and at the upper right-hand corner, it said name, reading 5/24/19.
Nice.
Okay. Every day we've been
Wow.
doing this. Yeah. So they're kind of checked out.
Awesome.
Bless their heart.
Yes, exactly. Sweet little people.
So our next bit of news I
Yes.
just got today.
Ooh, okay.
You know the big news?
I do.
I'll give you two initials.
BB.
On FB,
Yes!
BB on FB.
I freaked when I saw it when he sent me a friend request. I was just
Yeah.
like, no way. Actually, I've checked it first. Is this hacked? Did somebody hack BB? Rico, was that you?
Yeah, he's been hacked.
No, super exciting.
Yeah.
Yay.
I think BB's just interested in what the drama is.
Ah.
I think he's listened to our episodes and he's thinking, I want to touch base with Olga Ormans.
Yeah.
I want to see who this chick is.
BB's just here for the tea.
I want to have a convo with all the other Orbots and Orbs.
Yeah, super exciting. Yay.
He wants to experience it for himself. It's like going to the haunted house,
Yeah.
Some
Gotta do
people
it.
like to be scared.
Got to do it at least once.
At least once.
Yeah. Which reminds me, his song. I love the Call on Me song, and we used it in the wedding, and my son and I danced to it, and it was amazing.
And did you wipe your snotty nose in your son's tux?
No, you know what? I was really good. I cried.
You held it together?
I did. I cried before the wedding, especially the first time I saw Lysandra in her wedding dress. Oh, she was stunning, and I cried kind of a lot when that happened. But through the ceremony and stuff, I managed to hold it together pretty well. And then after the ceremony, it was just so fun. I mean, it was the toasts were all funny. I mean, there were a few that got you choked up, but it was just really fun. So you just couldn't cry. And then when we danced together, he did say some really sweet things to me. My son did, and it was really precious, but it didn't make me cry. So that was
Was one of them, Mom, you smell just like Huckleberry Town?
He knows what to say to me.
Yeah. What a good boy.
That's my boy.
That's it.
Oh, Nick. Yeah.
Very, very cool. I'm glad that mother-son dance was
Yeah.
very special to you.
That was really special. I had a couple people ask me, "Oh, what song was that?" And who's? And I said, "Oh, it's just a friend of mine that did a song. It's
Yeah.
on my Facebook channel or on my
The-
Facebook page."
The only way to top that would have been to have BB do like a three-way dance and sing it live.
Three-way dance. That wouldn't have been awkward at all.
No.
Or just to have him, awkwardly, like John Denver serenading the cars on the Grammy Awards.
Yes.
Ben's face. And Greg looking like trying to pretend like he's a robot and not making any facial expression whatsoever.
Do not make eye contact with John Denver.
That's right. That's right.
That's what it was all about.
Oh, my goodness sakes.
What? Hey, oh, man, did you hear that?
I did.
That was a yawn hiccup. That was a yickup.
Wait, why are you yawning at the beginning of our podcast?
I don't know, but it was
That's
a
bad news.
yickup. I just made a yickup
Hiccup.
on the air.
Awesome.
Kind of sounded like Mel Tillis there for a minute. Everybody knows Mel. Trying to talk.
I may or may not be editing that out.
Hey, don't edit it out. Leave it in. All right,
Keep
anyway.
it real. Yes, go on.
Everyone who follows me on Twitter, and I know you know this story, Donna, but
Okay.
knows that I've been coveting this Cloisonne pin with the debut logo on it, right?
Yes.
And it's been on eBay. It was at the 2 weeks ago or whatever. It was listed and it didn't sell. It was relisted and it didn't sell.
And we know you're a sucker for the single banana.
Yeah,
Go
and
on.
I didn't buy it because it was just ridiculously priced. It was like $28 opening bid, and then $36.50 for buy it now. Okay, so finally I couldn't take seeing it anymore, and I bid the minimum. Okay,
Okay.
and I do this a lot.
Yes.
explaining myself, the Rico ticket.
Exactly.
I bought that sucker, right?
I was totally thinking that.
There was the famous ticket that didn't even have the cars on, had the cars written in pen, that was framed in a little gross looking frame that was for $3.50. That was on there forever. And finally I just bought that sucker and sent it to Victoria.
Just to put it out of its misery.
As a joke. Yeah, just to put it out, just to get it off there. So, that's what I did. I put a bid down in the hope that, people who are watching it, because people were watching this pin, would start freaking out. Oh God, somebody's going to snag it, and then they'd outbid me.
Right,
I've done this a number of time on things, and it gets it out of my life. It removes the temptation. Okay? So no, I win it because I'm the only idiot who's going to bid $28 for a hat pin, right?
Right.
So I win. So you see these things listed over and over and over and over again, and it drives me nuts. And so I just want to say, hey, eBay sellers, get a clue. Nobody's buying it because nobody wants to pay that price except me, the idiot who puts down, the bid. But but then I start thinking logically about this thing. And, it's kind of like the $40 cap and swing songs we were talking about.
Yes.
If the dude really wants to sell them, they're going to put them at a reasonable price, and then people are going to, buy them all.
Right.
Like which is better, having all this and nobody buying it, or putting it down to a price that's reasonable and fair, and boom, and a lot of people buying it,
Right.
So, so I decide that I'm going to contact the seller. All right. So it says the seller's Sylvanic Walker. And I'm thinking, old Sylvie. Gotta be a reasonable guy, old Sylvie. Right?
Right.
So I'll message him. And then it turns into Harry Potter. Right? I can't remember what movie it was. Whatever movie it is where he finds Tom Riddle's diary and then he figures out Voldemort's. Tom Riddle's Voldemort,
Yes.
Harry Potter. So I get a reply, like not instantaneously, but like within like a half hour or whatever. I get a reply, and turns out that Sylvanic Walker is the fucking Dark Lord of Mordor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you know this. So people recognize the Dark Lord of Mordor from our Orbots episode. So it's like, what the? It's Voldemort. So
you have to say Voldemort to get the "or" in there.
Harry Potter. So I get this message back, Dave. This is the Dark Lord of Mordor.
Wait. Are you going to read what you said to?
Oh, sure. I just sent him. Well, I'll just kind of paraphrase. It says, I purchased one of these, looking forward to getting it. I'm assuming that you've reposted another, that these are, new and rare, and that maybe you're producing them or, whatever. And so if you really want to sell a lot to Cars fans, you may want to lower your price and like to $20 in free shipping. And I do a podcast, and we have a page, and we'll be more than happy to promote it for you. That's basically, what I said.
Right.
Which pretty sweet deal. So my Dark Lord of Mordor replied, Dave, this is the Dark Lord of Mordor. I had some trepidation about even taking your money or shipping this out to you, as I knew you would come back with some pretentious bullshit like this. And I was right. So that's my Voldemort.
Yes, that was interesting.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's what I get back from him. And I'm like, holy crap. Are you kidding me? So I'm pretentious. I'm the pretentious one.
Right.
So, okay, here's the item description for this pin. It says, let the good times roll with this, the Cars classic logo, and I've got to do the air quotes.
Okay.
He's into the quotes, into quoting things that don't even need quotes. Okay.
Okay.
The Cars classic logo, air quotes, license plate design, cloisonne, and he's even got the accent on cloisonne.
Of course.
cloisonne lapel pin with military-style clutch pin back. And the first thing I'm thinking is, how many people know what a cloisonne lapel pin with military-style clutch pin back is? I don't know. Anyway, lapel pin measures 1 inch wide by 0.5 inches tall in size. Very high-quality production pin and super rare. As keyboardist Greg Hawkes would say, air quotes, a badge for your future. And that's the only place where quotes are used appropriately here.
Right.
I've been collecting the Cars memorabilia since '78, when the band debuted, and acquired these pins in a large lot from a music memorabilia dealer in the early 1990s, before eBay existed. They have been stored in my car's, air quotes, treasure chest ever since, and were recently, air quotes, rediscovered when I was trying to dig up some other car's lost treasure. I have never seen another pin like this one before, and have no other information on this pin. I can only speculate that it is some sort of limited or test run, and this style or design pin was never widely distributed or sold commercially. Hence, the absence or lack of other known, air quotes, exemplars. So I'm the pretentious. Okay.
Right.
So, and then poor Craig M., our Craig M. with his Cars Museum, he contacts him too, okay? Because he wants to know, hey, are you producing these now? What's the deal with these? Blah, blah, blah.
Unbeknownst to you, right?
Unbeknownst to me, Craig
also had a run-in with this guy.
And so after I, post about this, whatever, Craig says, oh, I contacted the seller as a buyer and asked about the pin. I'll leave it at that. He wasn't as friendly as the seller should be. Well, it's because he's a Dark Lord of Ordor.
Right.
He wasn't as friendly as the seller should be, but he said the pin was old store stock. And he said he never saw them before either. So I guess I'm going to have to take his word unless I find out differently. When I first asked, he called me another person's name, acting like I was questioning him using someone else's profile. Pretty weird. So then I say something, and then Craig says back to me, yeah, I asked about it too. I asked if it was new or old stock or a newly made one. And he replied, how many do you want, David? So I obviously thought, I was wearing the cloak of invisibility or something. So I said I was a collector for almost 40 years, and he replied, I've been collecting since 1978, and everything is stated in the ad.
He is such a...
So he tried to one-up our friend Craig there.
Well, what a jerk.
Yeah. So, back to this pin, though. I mean, it's a beautiful pin. It's absolutely beautiful, but
I bet.
There's no guarantee these are licensed. Because
there's no markings on the back or anything, any kind of nothing, huh?
But but here's the deal, though. You've got, like, the promo pins, those all say either Electra, the Cars on Electra, the Cars Unlimited,
right?
Are all their things they put on those things. But as far as those pins, there's just a plethora of pins that came out like in the 80s. Because that was the thing, the hat pins. People put them on the cowboy hats in my area. I don't know about but there was just a bunch of them. So like all those other cloisonne pins that I've come, like the little guitar ones.
Right.
You have one for every band known to man.
Yes, yes.
None of those have markings because they're not licensed.
Right.
And that's what I figure these pins are. They're unlicensed. But the reason why I bring all this up is this is what the Dark Lord harps on all the time. Copyrights. All the time.
Yes.
He knows he's selling unlicensed stuff for major profit, which is why he won't reply and answer the question.
Right.
Right. I mean, he's basically saying, he got these from a music memorabilia guy or whatever. It doesn't mean they're licensed. They're not licensed. But the things that are licensed are things like, the Cars debut logo necklace, and they also have one for Shake It Up. Mm-hmm. Those were sold in the record stores. And I know they had other bands and so forth. That's licensed stuff. I don't think this was what he's got is licensed. But anyway, they're new. They comes in its own little poly bag,
Awesome.
and it may very well have been old stock, and I believe that, but I don't think they warrant a vintage official price like that. It's just,
Right. And here's the thing, I don't have anything against. Yeah, I mean, we have our own fans do that. There's not a lot of merchandise out there. There's different ways that we can create our stuff and sell it, and I don't have a problem with that. It's the hypocritical attitude.
Exactly.
He acts so high and mighty about stuff, and then under what's his name, the village skulker. What's the
What?
what does you say his eBay handle is?
Oh, Sylvanic Walker.
Sylvanic Walker.
Yeah.
Not the village stalker.
Yeah,
But
the village stalker.
It's not like he's using his name. It's not like he's making it clear who he is. He's under the cloak of this faux name selling these things because he's a hypocrite.
Yeah.
And also that same like a week before that came to light, he had posted this thing on his Facebook page about, oh, this page is the one where you'll see, unique and stuff that you won't see anywhere else until somebody else takes it off my page and puts it on theirs, acting like, first of all, like it's a crime. Second, and second of all, acting as if he would never stoop so low. When I'll tell you, I know that he has taken pictures off of my page.
Yeah.
Never gives credit, like the Peter Simon ones I posted, and the ones of Ben and his Hogwarts scarf.
Yeah.
No one had those. No one posted those.
Yeah. Well, there's actually a picture on his page that he took off the internet and he cropped out the watermark.
Of course. Of course. And then he acts like the ones I posted of the Hogwarts thing, they're in the exact same order that I posted. It's like, I know you took
Wow.
my set and just dumped it into your thing,
Yeah.
and then no credit, no thank you to Sweet Purple June for these, or or even just saying, because I know he doesn't like me, so even just saying I found these on another website, no, he does that, and then he goes and makes comments like, oh well, until somebody else steals this. It's like, just stop. Who do you think you are? Ugh.
Oh, anyway, that was my attempt to try to do something for the Fanorama, but that kind of backfired. But, if you look at it this way, I mean, let's say in the 90s, you got this lot of these pins in the 90s. What do you think he paid for each pin? It couldn't have been more than $1.
I was just going to say $1.
$1 a piece or whatever. And
It's like you picking up all those
jack up
Frozen
that
Fire
price.
books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the promo pins, those are worth $28 to $40 a piece. You pay those. Those are vintage. Those are promo items. Those kind of things.
Yeah.
But and it's not just him. It's all of eBay. I always talk about the greedy eBay sellers. When you're talking $700 concert shirts, who makes the price for that? And if you ask them, they'll say, well, that's trending at that price, and
Right,
but
so
that
all
doesn't
in
mean it's
demand.
worth that.
Right.
Right. It's only worth that if somebody buys it.
Right.
And there's lots of stuff on there, if you follow the cars on eBay, that has been there forever, and it'll go away, then it'll come back, and they're asking ridiculous prices because somebody told them it's worth that much. But really, it's only worth that much if somebody's going to buy it.
Right.
And something like pins like this that fans can wear and enjoy, and those kind of things that you bought for $1 a piece or $2 a piece or whatever, and you're trying to sell it for $40.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. That's not being fan friendly. It would be like me putting Night Thoughts buttons that I paid $1 for on eBay and selling them for $20 a piece
Right.
in the hope that some collector would buy one.
Well, as in high demand as they are.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You could probably get that price, but why would you ask that? That would be unreasonable.
Yeah. Well, yeah, think about it, because we gave away a lot of Night Thoughts buttons in Cleveland. I never bothered to look on the sidewalk outside the Loft Hotel. How many were on the side?
In the
Just nothing
planters and
Yeah. How many were left as a tip?
Yeah, with water bubble gum stuck to it and put in the garbage can.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, that stuff just makes me so grumpy. And it is like the $40 song, like you said. Why would you be so unreasonable? I mean, I don't have a problem with people getting money for their stuff.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I like the pin. I'm not happy that I won it because I didn't think I was going to win. But it's a nice little pin. I just don't like the price that I paid for it.
Yeah.
So it feels kind of dirty.
Well, and then knowing where it came from and the whole attitude that it's been bathed in for the last how many years. It's almost like cursed swag.
Yeah.
It's almost like that.
Well, and there you go. Also on he's selling. God, I can't remember the name of it. He's selling the Panorama guitar. God, what are they called?
Oh, the Rick one?
The Moonsalts.
Okay, yes.
The Moonsalt guitar. He's got one of it because he has two of them. He's got one of them up for sale.
Okay.
Guess what he's asking for it?
I don't know, 2,000?
2,500. Now tell me that isn't a Holocrux. That is most certainly a Holocrux.
He's got a little bit of his soul.
He does. I'm telling you, he does. So we just remember, when it comes time to destroy him, we have to find the buyer.
That's right.
And we're going to have to destroy it. I've got the pin.
Okay, that's two of them. Two out of the 7.
Somebody has also bought a pin. I think he spread it between like 3 or 4 pins and that, and God knows what else. And I know, you know what? You know damn well there's a snake involved. He used to have an owl, but I bet he's got a snake now.
Oh my gosh, Dave, that is so hilarious. I'm so glad I just read the Harry Potter series. Like, I finished it, I don't know, maybe a month ago. That is so funny.
Yeah, well,
so funny.
Just making comparisons.
Oh,
so,
goodness.
Let's get to our topic tonight, Donna.
Okay, yes, let's.
Our topic tonight is the Cars Unlocked.
Awesome.
I'll give you the lowdown. It was released on October 17th, 2006.
Okay.
They put a website up to go along with it called thecarsunlocked.com. It's still running.
Nice.
Still
Okay.
people can go to it. This came out along with the news of that Rick was going to do the same kind of thing with his solo stuff called Different Times.
Right.
And
okay.
It never came about. But, there was advanced warning that this was going to be out in the grapevine. And his son, Aaron Otkasik, is the director, or I guess you call him the producer. I don't know. Rick produced it. His son worked on it too, and so forth. But it came out in 2006. I think you could order it to the website at the time, maybe. Probably. I can't even remember where I got my copy. I don't know if I went to Best Buy or if I got it off Amazon or where the heck I got it. But you said the original price you paid for it was like $13.
I did. I bought it, I don't know, three years ago, and it was $13.41 in new condition.
Yeah, and I bet it wasn't. Well, maybe it was probably more in 2006 when it first came out. Who knows? But now, it's out of print. Mm-hmm. On Amazon, it's only $169.99.
How much is it on eBay? Does the Village Stalker sell them for $300?
eBay is a little bit better. You can get used copies for about $40, up to about $100. Brand new, $169.98. So I think a lot of those eBay sellers kind of look to Amazon too. But somebody's deciding at some point in time, you know what? This here DVD CD combo, it's out of print. You know what I think it's worth now? What? I think it's worth $169.99 and $4.69 for shipping. That's what I think. And then people go, oh, he's selling it for that. I should sell mine for that. When really it shouldn't be that way. But
yeah, maybe.
So once again, folks, just like the Just What We Needed Cars tribute CD, we're bringing you something that you can get, but it's going to cost you an arm and a leg. But $40 isn't too bad.
No, that seems reasonable to me.
I mean, just knowing this set, it's worth $40.
Yeah.
$100? No, don't do it. $169? Are you crazy? Don't
Are you
do
crazy?
it. Yeah.
Well, and the thing is, we talked about this a little bit. A lot of it, well, I don't know about a lot, but sections of it are definitely on YouTube, particularly all of the. I don't think all the live performances are on there, but a lot of the interim, footage stuff is out there.
Yeah. Well, that's the big difference in what you can see on YouTube. I mean, everybody's seen the behind the scenes, black and white, screwed up video from the band had the camera. I mean, that stuff has just been out there forever.
Yeah.
Well, not forever, since 2006, but where you're want to get the actual set is to see the old footage, like from the Panorama tour. That's a biggie. That's a biggie right there, and from the Shake It Up tour.
Mm-hmm.
That was just the part that I was very glad about when I originally purchased this. Like, wow, they actually took a video these times. So
yes, which is one of my big, watching this again. That's just one of my big little soapboxes. Just like that footage is out there. I mean, they only use sections of it for this DVD, but I just, it makes me crazy to think of all the stuff that's still out there that they have.
Yeah, it's interesting that I read in the credits that of all the concert footage, all of it's East Coast stuff except for Houston. They re-show some of the Houston stuff from '85, I think it was. Okay. That was on MTV and so forth. But the rest of it's Boston, New York, New Jersey.
Philadelphia, maybe.
Philadelphia, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Let's talk about the packaging.
Okay.
Packaging is interesting.
Yes.
It's got a slip case cover.
That opens from the wrong side.
Slip case cover that opens from the wrong side. It has a military style clutch pin back. No, I'm just kidding. It goes from the wrong side, goes to the left, but the actual DVD and CD are enclosed in a book, which I think is very cool.
It is. It's a nice, heavy hardcover book.
And you can see a picture of that book in our header for this episode. You open it up, and this is where things go wrong for me, Donna. You open it up, and even though it's very, very cool, the inside the front cover is the DVD. It's like a little pocket. And then inside the back cover is the live performances CD in a little pocket. Now, where this goes wrong for me is the ease of pulling out the DVD, which I'm pulling it out halfway. I'm not going to pull it out all the way because getting it back in for a bifocal wearing
old dude,
arthritic hands dude is not easy. And I've totally chipped the heck out of the inside of mine getting it back in just from listening to it or watching it this week. It's not easy. It's just not easy for me. So I'm like, man, come on, man, lift up so I can put you back in there. And but it's still cool. But the inside book has pictures from the DVD or from the performances and lyrics from different songs.
Yeah.
Just kind of like, I could have wished for more. I already knew the lyrics, but it's done nicely.
It's done nicely. The pictures, there's some that I had, that you don't see actually around on the internet, and they're kind of chopped up a little bit, but that's kind of cool to have different things. There are some typos in this book. Now I know that they purposefully didn't put in, apostrophes and any kind of punctuation and stuff, but they do have some misspellings.
Really?
They do.
Now I'm going to have to go through it.
You are. There are 3 of them. Well, 4 if you count that.
Oh, and also the It has, in a couple places, it has the picture by Lynn Goldsmith from the Orr book. It is Lynn Goldsmith, right? Who did the picture for that?
Ebert Roberts for the cover.
Ebert Roberts, yes. I'm sorry, Ebert Roberts.
Yes.
The Ben picture. So, and that just shows you how iconic Joe's book is at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see that same picture and go, oh, Orr book.
Yep.
That's,
Exactly.
boom, light bulb goes off immediately. Yeah, so they have that in this. I don't know if it's in this book or not. I think I saw it in the book.
Yes, it is.
It's in the little booklet, yeah. And of course they show it during the DVD and so forth. But
yeah,
very cool.
Yes. So there's neat photographs. Of course, most of it's black and white. There's a little bit of color, but I love that the packaging is the red and black and white color scheme that they started out with as a band. You know, it just looks very cool, very rock and roll.
A lot of sweaty pictures of Benjamin Orr.
Not sure what to say about that.
I'm just saying.
I don't think he looks sweaty. He doesn't sweat, he glows.
I said sweaty, not shitty. I said sweaty. He's a rock star. They sweat.
Oh, all right. Well, I hadn't noticed that. That Ebed picture is in here twice in the booklet.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, that's kind of...
Man, somebody screwed up on that one, didn't they?
Well, they just loved it so much. They're just okay, we'll put it in the collage, and then we'll put it out here all by itself.
There you go.
Yeah.
So the DVD starts off with a little intro, and then it kind of goes in between concert footage and other little snippets of interviews or things that happen backstage, and at some point just like a mishmash of stuff. Just kind of goes. But we just kind of go down the list, and if there's anything that strikes your fancy. But the first concert footage is My Best Friend's Girl that you see, and then they have a interview after that, and then after the interview they go into Let's Go from '82, which was pretty cool to see because when you see Let's Go, you can see when it first came out, in the video and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
You used to seeing Let's Go from the HBC tour, but to see Let's Go being played during the Shake It Up tour is pretty damn cool.
Yes. Now I on my notes I just kind of went down. I wish we could watch this together. Like I said, this would be a good video episode to do, or we could play the video and be watching it while we're talking about it. But because I just did some notes, like at 6:56, there's a part where Rick throws his guitar, like they're done on stage with the song, and he throws his guitar.
Yeah, real high.
Yes, and then he turns around and kind of bear hugs Ellie, or bear hugs Ben, like kind of collapses on his shoulders a little bit. It's just gives him this awesome hug, and I just love that. So see, I just noted weird things like that.
How do you know Rick wasn't drunk?
Because he threw his guitar right at the guitar tech and he caught it.
Maybe he was in a alcoholic rage and was throwing his guitar at the guitar tech, and then just like,
Maybe that's where Ben developed his dislike of being tackled by people.
I think so.
That's why John Calicious ended up getting the boot, because Ben was traumatized by this panorama experience.
Right. Exactly right.
And then there's that part of
what song is that during that Rick throws the guitar?
I didn't write
down.
Talking
about Let's Go? Oh, you just whenever. Okay.
It was at 6:56. No, so it was before you got to Let's Go.
Okay. After Let's Go is when you get some of the first of the video camera footage in the hotel room, and that's the famous Greg with the pillow on his head. You know what? We should have asked him about that when we had him on the pod, because that is so hilarious. It's just like, I'm just walking around with a pillow on my head.
Yeah, they're putting stuff on, like whatever they were putting on the top to make it look like hair. That's awesome.
Pretty hilarious. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. There's a couple things I was going to say, because before Let's Go, there's also that footage of them picking up the phones like, hi, I'm Ben, I'm bass player for the Cars,
Yes.
and this is my
Yeah.
bass. Did you see recently on Facebook that photographs from that time period surfaced? Some still photos, black and whites, of the guys all sitting there at that phone bay.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No,
they're
I
really
don't know if
cool.
I've seen it or not.
Yeah, they're really, really cool. I'll try to remember to post those. Tracy found those and posted them in the Benjamin Orr Remembered group. They're really cool.
Oh, well, that's why I haven't seen it. There you go.
Anyway, when you get to that footage of Let's Go, so I did want to talk about that for a second because you said, it's from the Shake It Up period, but if you look closely, and you may have already noticed this, that Elliot's guitar changes color. Have you ever noticed that?
Like, changes color because of it's a technology thing, or changes color because it's two pieces of footage spliced together?
Because it's two pieces of footage spliced together. And my point that I wanted to make about that is how amazingly, what would be the word? How consistent they are in their live shows.
Sure. Yes.
And how formulaic, maybe. Because you can see Elliot and Ben in the same shot, and at one point Elliot's got a red guitar, and then you see Elliot and Ben in another shot, and Elliot's got a yellow guitar, and they're wearing the same clothes.
Well, Elliot was always doing that switcheroo guitar thing. Tonight She Comes.
That's true. He just hucked it across the stage.
Throws across stage, boom, changes color.
That
was
right.
his
That's
thing.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's not footage spliced together. It's just an actual thing.
It's Elliot. It was Elliot's little shtick.
Shtick. Nice. He was quite a stand-up comedian in his day.
He was. That's what I heard.
That's what I
heard. Yeah. After
yeah.
the hotel part, they go and they do "Give Me Some Slack," which love.
Oh,
And that panorama era set is so awesome.
I know.
And I think somebody mentioned when we posted the video for free about how weird it was to see David off to the side. And
Yes.
in that panorama era, he was off to the side. He wasn't dead center. He was off to the side. Greg was on the other side, where he always is. And they just used a bigger stage setup.
Well, but he was in the back.
Yeah, he was in the back, but he was off to the side, not dead center in the middle where,
Right.
every shot that you get of the whole band, you got, Ben's head covering up Dave Robinson.
Right. Yeah. That whole footage just makes me, how desperately I want there to be a release of a panorama concert in full. I mean, and I see the different clips that they do, and it's so good. They sounded so great. They look so great. The set's awesome. If I could only have, well, I better not say if I could only have one wish. 'Cause I don't know what it would be, but it's close. It's right up there.
Yes. And the thing about it is, none of the footage from the panorama era is from Tokyo, which you think that they would have filmed, one of those concerts in entirety, or recorded one of those concerts in its entirety, just for a possible merchandising opportunity.
Well, there is.
Bands were doing that all the time.
Yes. There is some Tokyo audio.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, as far as recording a live show.
Yes.
Video recording it.
Yeah, and obviously professionally recorded and videoed. And you can tell that when they have close-ups and things of that nature. But they're doing the sound check. I love sound check.
Yes.
Just going through "Don't Tell Me No."
Yes.
You got that heavy Greg keyboards going on. I could just listen to that kind of stuff.
I love that stuff. And that was actually when I first figured out what in the world Greg's role was in My Best Friend's Girl. When they're singing the "Here She Comes Again" part over and over, and you hear Greg's bump 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 bump.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that was a layer in there I never realized until I saw that sound check.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Well, that's the interesting thing about live recordings, though, is certain things, depending on how their setup was, really come out in songs and really, make the songs a different kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And, like one of the things that I noticed when they do "Tonight She Comes," the background vocals, which aren't as prominent in the studio recording, man, Ben is killing it.
Yes.
On those background vocals on "Tonight She Comes."
Yes.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It just adds another layer to the song.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's always interesting when Rick just throws lyrics around,
Oh yeah.
makes them
Willy-nilly.
different. Like when Night Spots,
Yes. Your long blonde hair, your curly hair, your kinky
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I love that footage. I think if I understand right, I think Stephen Bickford is the one who had the black and white camera backstage. Are you there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, because at one point David says, Stephen, I don't think
Oh.
everyone would appreciate you filming everything that goes on back here.
Yeah. Yeah.
As he's flipping the bird every 5 minutes to the
Yeah.
camera. But anyway, I love all that footage, and I love like when they're in Tokyo and they go out in the hallway, they're heading out, and you see Ben sort of look at the camera and be like, watch this, and he's going down the hall. And there's all these
Yeah.
little Japanese fans in the thing, and he's
Yeah.
giving them the look. Oh, yeah. And Ben's just working the room like a presidential candidate. I mean, he
Yeah.
is just like, hey, ladies, and all with his eyes and his smile. And then
Yeah.
you get Greg behind him. Well, and, so Roy Thomas Baker, I think, is actually the next person that comes out, and he's looking around like, would you knock it off? But here comes...
RTE.
Yes! And then here comes Greg coming out, spinning around like a weird robot thing. It's like, Greg, I don't think that's quite as charming to the ladies as Ben's smoldering looks.
What do you think RTB's purpose was going to Tokyo with them? Just to go?
Having a blast.
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't have served any purpose, you wouldn't think.
Well, I don't know. Was he in charge of the sound engineers? Was he, did he run any of the soundboard stuff? And...
I would like to think that he was so tight with the band after
Yeah.
doing, 3 albums with them at that point. Then, I'm going to go to Tokyo with you guys.
Heck yeah, dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he was planning on getting lost in Tokyo, like the desert,
Oh, he was looking for a place to hide.
for a place to hide. What better place than to hide among, 3 billion people?
Who are all 2 feet shorter than him and look entirely different. You'll blend right in, RTB. This is the place for you.
Yeah, why not? I like the part in there where Rick is talking to a group of people who obviously do not speak the language, and he's getting them to say, up there, eh?
Yeah.
Up there, eh?
So awesome. And then when someone's explaining, you can turn the toaster on its side and make a grilled cheese sandwich, and they're all
Yeah.
kind of like, huh?
What?
They're high at that point because they're considering it. They're like, wow.
Wow, yeah. Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
very nice.
In that whole sound check thing, I really love how it goes. They start doing a sound check for Up and Down, and then they go right into the concert footage of Up and Down. So you got that, very simplistic. They're just kind of trying out instruments, and all of a sudden, boom, it goes into the song. That is so cool.
So good, isn't it?
Yeah. But that's the first one they start cutting to other footage during the song, and I'm just like, what are you doing?
I know,
Leave-
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. That was like, no, stay. That whole smash cut thing, yeah, I don't, because I so want to absorb every second of what they're offering. I don't like when they cut back and forth to different things, and I want to be able to, or like when they showed, there's just little things like when they're on the escalator or they're going through the airport, and
Yes.
you only see a few seconds of it. I'm like, no, wait, I want to look
Yeah.
around and see who all the people are and what's going on.
Bring it back.
Yeah, I have a hard time.
It's Elliot Easton. That whole thing at the craft table or whatever, where he takes the grapes, he's going a day,
What is
smashing the crap out of the grapes.
He's throwing sandwiches at the wall.
What is
and
wrong with you?
Dude, blowing out some steam. So it's not just tilting pictures in the hotel room. It's tilting
No.
pictures in the hotel room and throwing cold cuts at the wall.
Grapes,
And-
smashing grapes. Wow. Well, they had a rep.
Elliot's actually so hilarious in so many of those parts because he's just turns it on for the camera, and so there's other parts too when he's like doing that where he's supposed to be talking but his mouth is moving all funny.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
the kids were
stuff like
great. Something was great. It's just, he just gets so
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah.
And I love it, and that's the thing. Because it makes me achy at the same time, because especially Ben, like seeing him just moving around like a person and being vibrant and alive and cool in himself, it's just like, makes me so achy for him.
That was the big draw for this set, when they released the trailer for the set, and you saw this behind the scenes stuff, and it's like, wow, we get to see them talk.
Yeah.
Just as a normal conversation or whatever.
Yeah, interact with each other and drink milk out of the carton.
Drink
so
milk
charming.
out of the carton. Yeah. Yeah. They got that little other part of the sound check where I think they're doing Just What I Needed, and Rick's guitar is obviously not tuned.
Yes,
and Ben gives him a look like, dude.
He cringes like 3 times. Like every time Rick strums it, he's like,
it's like, ooh, that's not good.
And then finally Elliot comes over and tunes it for him. Rick's just standing. He doesn't care. Like, whatever.
Tune it up. What the hell?
Yeah. If it bothers you that much.
The best part, interview wise, is that Denver Post interview with what's the guy's name again?
Oh, what is Dr. G?
Dr. G. That interview is just awesome. It's Elliot and Greg, and Greg says the thing. Well, maybe Elliot might be left-handed.
Yes.
And he might only have 9 fingers too.
That's right. That's right. Is that where Elliot, or then Greg looks at the camera for like a really long time, all awkwardly?
Yes. Yeah, just nothing.
Yeah, because he's just like, just sits there.
It's pretty fun.
I love it. That Dr. G guy, he looks like he's, again, just super relaxed and hey, dudes. And especially at the end when he's like, you can just say what you want because I'm going to write whatever the hell I want anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
That was awesome.
And then the Don't You Stop is after, and that's an awesome song live. I love it.
Okay, wait, don't go there yet, because remember the fight scene?
Yes, is that in there?
That's right before Don't You Stop.
Is that before that? Well,
yeah.
Everybody's seen the fight scene to death, though.
I know, but you know what I never really focused on was the fact that it's Greg that is pummeling Ben toward the end there, like kicking behind the couch.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just extra cute because, come on.
What a little spitfire.
Greg, I know. What bee could possibly have flown in his bonnet that would make him treat someone like that?
Yeah,
little Greg.
I don't know.
It's pretty cute.
Following the Denver Post part, they go into Don't You Stop, and Rick with his zebra shirt.
Yes.
Zebra shirt. Like, come on, Rick. What?
Didn't he?
Zebra?
Wasn't he wearing that in the Dangerous Type video footage too?
I believe so.
Yeah.
David with his leopard pants, Rick with his zebra shirt.
They're all a bunch of animals.
Yeah. Hey, Stretch, why aren't you wearing a giraffe shirt? Hey. You're going to pick an animal. You picked the right animal.
Okay, so what animals should they all be?
Tall people don't wear giraffe print. They just don't.
They're trying to make themselves look shorter.
What?
If I don't go for the obvious, I won't look quite so big.
Why don't they have shirts that are like ape print? So you have like 2 big ape nipples on your shirt, and a belly button.
The shiny, leathery oval for the stomach. Torso.
Nobody ever thought of that, did they?
I think you just hit upon a retirement plan, my friend.
Yeah, why not? So, anyway.
Hilarious.
If Don't You Stop, and then they go into Moving in Stereo.
Okay, which I love.
Yeah. You know what I love most about that whole section there is they get that tight shot of Benjamin playing the bass.
Yes.
You realize what a great musician he was.
Yes. Sorry, still recovering. Yeah, that, and of course I wish it was clear. I wish there was more footage of that concert. But he is rock star all the way right there. And just like you said, his musicianship. He backs up, he just stands there and hammers out that bass line throughout that whole solo. You know, that whole part where Elliot is sort of having that trying to have that back and forth with Rick. And Rick seems to not realize
Rick's not having any of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You made fun of my shirt.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, I love that footage so much. They sound so amazing.
Yeah.
Again, people can say what they want about the Cars not being charismatic enough on stage, but what the trade-off is worth it. They play so solid. It's just awesome.
I'll tell you what, I talk a lot about going back in time to see them during the Candy-O era when they were playing in my town. But you know what? If I could only go back once, I'd want to go back and go someplace during the Panorama tour.
You think?
Yeah.
See, and we kind of started to go down that road earlier. I can't decide because I see footage like that. You know, Blonde Ben, the 1978, you know, their breakout footage. I mean, they were amazing. They were so good. But Panorama's so good too. I don't know. But then on top of that, you've got Captain Swing and Karate Pants. I mean, you can't ignore that.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, I'm figuring if I went back in time to go see Captain Swing, I'm for sure I'd get my ass kicked. Max's Kansas City, I'd get my ass kicked.
The Rat.
Yeah, for sure. As soon as I came to the door, boom, right across.
They target you right away.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, poor Dave.
Yeah, I'm telling you how it goes.
That's a sad story. So then next you've got the Getting Through.
Yes.
Well,
see, that's another great thing about this DVD setup is all the songs that they have in there from the Panorama album.
Yeah.
I mean, not just, you know, get to hear, but get to see in this live footage.
Which, you know, they really treat Panorama much more than the debut album.
Mm-hmm.
Which is great because it was panned so widely when it came out. But so I love that they gave it extra attention. Just like you said,
they're Getting Through kicks ass.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And there's great footage of Greg in that segment too. You know, you really get to see Greg working his keyboards. It's awesome.
And then somewhere along in there, they have the Rick and David doing an interview, and they screw up the titles. They got Rick Ocasek for David and David Robinson for Rick.
Oh, did they? I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I was too busy looking at faces.
And I don't know if that was, you know, where that was done, if it was maybe done in Tokyo or whatever, but yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah. And again, the interview footage, I want to see the whole interviews. I want to know where that was from. Who was interviewing them? You know, give me the whole video. Did you talk to all the guys? Did you just talk to that one guy? Did you? And it's so funny watching Rick get interviewed because you feel like he just has such an attitude so much of the time.
I know. He'd rather be doing something else. Yeah.
Yes. In his prolonged silences, they ask him a question and he just stares at them. And you know, he's just thinking, why am I here?
Well, think about how many times he's answered the same questions over and over.
Right? You think Joe had it bad in the, in the couple months leading up to the book. This guy's been doing it for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
They go into, after that little interview segment, they show a lot of footage from the Houston concert, and they have Candy-O, You Might Think, and then Drive all through there. And you know, and I understand them showing that section because, you know, really that was the Cars' heyday, you know, when they were most popular.
Chart-wise,
And chart-wise. But, you know, I always kind of compare the Heartbeat City era to kind of like Elvis Presley's comeback special in '68. You know? Yeah. No, I mean, that is a good thing because, you know, Elvis was older. He was wiser. He had hit his fashion stride before he, you know, went into the to the Las Vegas jumpsuits. You know, he was
Oh, did you say 68?
yeah, in '68,
Okay, all right.
black leather, and he was, and he was an older guy. Um, so that's the way I kind of look at the cars. When in the Heartbeat City era, they were at their peak in fashion and feeling comfortable with the business. And I think all of them physically probably looked their best in that era.
I don't know.
You get into door to door, everybody's kind of looking shaggy.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about door to door, but I mean, if you're comparing, 1978 cars to 84 cars, I mean,
no, 1978 cars. Well, I mean, and this is just my personal opinion. I just kind of think that in those early years, you're just kind of like, well, they're your basic rock stars kind of thing. They didn't have so much style other than
the rock star style.
Than the rock star style. But they wore the ties, they were color coordinated, but they were more fashionable. That's the only word I can think of in the Heartbeat City. I mean, they were all wearing the jackets and
you're being wooed by shoulder pads.
Wooed by shoulder pads.
and fluffy hair and
everybody had the best hair in Heartbeat City.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm not as crazy. Okay, because of course, my first thing is Ben, and I'm not as crazy about Ben's look.
Does he not have the best hair during the Heartbeat City tour?
No. No.
Yeah.
No, because
you're probably going to go with the blonde Candy O look or whatever,
but
it definitely wasn't door to door.
No, it was definitely not door to door.
And let's not even talk about Elliot because he never had good hair, but he had the best hair in Heartbeat City. He had the best hair in Heartbeat City.
Poor Elliot. When your hair is that thick and unruly, you do what you can. I mean, he's a poor guy.
But honestly, he had the best haircut during Heartbeat City. Definitely wasn't that shag thing going on in door to door, and everything before that. Well, we can shake it up. He had this similar haircut and shake it up, that when he shortened it up and everything.
Are you talking about Elliot still? Or
yeah.
Ben? Oh, yeah.
Elliot. Greg had the bowl thing going on, but, Heartbeat City, let it grow. He got more of a mullet thing going on. But then door to door, he totally let that mullet go.
Yes.
Elliot door to door, it was like, holy crap, what happened? David had some weird kind of coif thing going on in door to door, but in Heartbeat City, it was
okay. You're
style.
You're getting You're giving me too much to work with. Okay. Okay. Actually, I'll start with David. He's the easiest. I actually love his hair on the door to door tour because it's short, clean cut. I like his hair. I did not like it. The big sort of almost like a flock of seagulls. Kajagoogoo thing going on in the Heartbeat.
Shake it up here. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that as much, and I didn't like the streak when he had the skunk stripe kind of thing like Ben. I didn't like that. So I think, but okay, and you're right about Elliot. I mean, he's a hard one to pin down, and Rick has never. The Midnight Special, he had sort of softer looking hair, but ever since then, it was always just this sort of wiry black. He looks the same all the time. A little more spiky in the Heartbeat City era, but
you know what it looks like?
Huh?
It looks like a zebra's mane. That's the look he was going for.
That's why he coordinated his shirt with that.
He was the zebra.
He was.
You know how Kiss has the demon, Star Child? Rick was the zebra.
Rick was the zebra.
What animal are you going to be, Rick? Zebra.
Duh. But see, when you talk about Ben, I didn't. He looked okay. Ben to me has looked great his entire life. There's just, it's like when we talk about the vocals. There's no worst when it comes to because everything's awesome.
Okay, agreed.
Okay,
but you have to admit that there's times in Benjamin's life that he was looking a little rough around the edges.
Yes.
And door to door, he was looking a little rough around the edges.
I totally agree. Door to door is a given. I'm talking about Heartbeat City backwards in time because I love the Miami Vice look on him. He wore it well. Yeah. Absolutely. But the panorama, the dark-haired Ben, I totally dig it. I wasn't as crazy about the bleach blonde Candy-O, but the debut album, kind of brownish blonde, and even like Musikladen and France and those 1978 where it wasn't quite platinum blonde, or it wasn't the blonde,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like a brown blonde. That was pretty epic. So those Panorama and Debut both beat Heartbeat City in my mind.
Yeah. Well, I admit my opinion can be skewed on all of this, fashion, hair, whatever, because I'm not a chick. But that's just the way I see it.
Yeah, well.
You know, a lot of people would dispute my claim and debate me on the Elvis thing. Oh no, Vegas Elvis is the best, but no.
Right, because it's all just subjective. Yeah.
Yeah. But
we can agree that Ben has always been a stylish, good-looking man.
Yes, but I think he's better looking as he got older. And that's what I was saying for the whole band. As they got older, a better-looking group of people.
I totally see what you're saying. With maturity definitely comes a better look. And you know what, particularly, I would say in men. Because they just do look more distinctive and handsome as they get older. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that.
All right. I'm glad we agreed on something there. How much of that do you think we'll edit? I don't know.
We hammered that out for 20 minutes, didn't we?
Yeah, no kidding.
Jeez.
Talk about digression. All right. So let's get back to it. They go through all that, all those 3 songs, Candy-O, You Might Think, and Drive.
Yes.
That pretty much part of the DVD that I don't enjoy just because I've seen that footage so much. I saw it on MTV when it first aired, and then they put it out on VHS, and so having that kind of rehashed.
Yeah.
I just kind of wish they could have maybe shown some 1987 footage of those songs or something different. But who knows what they had to work with.
Right. That's true. I do think they kind of went chronologically. I mean, they had an overarching chronological umbrella, although things were sort of salt and peppered in there. But I think it actually made Door to Door look even worse in the sense that as you work through the first hour of the video, you're seeing them mature, you're seeing them age and become at the top of their game and all of that stuff, and then you get to Door to Door, and it does seem obvious the disconnect. Their energy on stage is different.
Yeah, the disconnect with each other. And
it's not really in a good way. You see Ben looking a little more haggard. You see Elliot looking a little more lethargic. It's just different. And so watching it in that chronological fashion, to me, really highlights and accentuates the difference in Door to Door.
Yeah.
Which is kind of blah.
They have that section in there with the Door to Door era where they're doing Fine Line during their sound check. That's
yes. That's really cool. Is that what you said?
And then they do the same thing. Tonight She Comes goes from sound check and then goes into the concert. Mm-hmm. Same way they did with Up and Down.
Yes.
I think it's a cool little effect to do that.
I like that too.
Yeah. But it got me on that when they do the Tonight She Comes concert footage. Mm-hmm. I don't know, who was filming. I'm assuming it was semi-professional because that was the spectrum. Mm-hmm. But why in the hell aren't they focused on Elliot's lead? That's one of his top 5 great solos. And it's like they got it on Rick. They got it on David. Put it on Elliot Easton's hands, for God's sakes.
You have to wonder if that's like written into the Cars code somewhere. In all videos and footage, we will refuse to record the guitar solo.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a common thing. You think and I used to think it was because whoever was filming it, like Rock Goes to College or like Musikladen, well, they don't really know the band, or they weren't sure who was going to play next or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, come on.
They don't actually do that until they have the bonus footage, which I'm kind of getting my head of myself here, but they have Touch and Go, and they actually you get a close up of Elliot doing the solo from that.
Right. Yeah. So who knows what people are thinking. Then they have they go back in time a little bit and have that U.S. festival footage from 1982, which is awesome.
And they also do, well, before that, when they do Magic from 87, they start doing the various footage or whatever, and they show the Orbrero, the Orbrero phase.
Yes. Just briefly. I love it.
Yeah.
The Orbrero. I think Rick might be wearing an Orbrero pin on his lapel at some point.
Yes, I noticed that too.
Did you see that?
What the hell is that? A nipple? What's that supposed to be?
Yeah, I saw that too. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so bonus material.
Well, on that US festival,
yes.
Don't you seriously think that that pasty band of ours needed some sunscreen that day? Because it was a sunny day.
Yeah, they were looking awfully white.
They're pretty pasty. I bet you they got some sunburn that day, man.
Yeah.
Because people weren't concerned about sunscreen back then.
Nope. No, clearly. Yes, and you could see of course, the outfit of the day was, for girls anyway, was bikini top,
bikini top, yeah,
riding on your boyfriend's shoulders.
Yeah.
Those poor guys. You know what? Didn't that kill? Did you think that would just kill their neck and shoulders?
Well, let me put it to you this way. I can put my 6-year-old granddaughter on my shoulders, walk up and down the hallway a couple times, and I'm spent. Well, I don't know how. I don't know how these guys do it.
Yeah, because the girls are dancing around, clapping. Also, you know that, gosh, that's got to just put a crick in their neck for the next week.
There must be something about having a babe on your shoulders wearing a bikini top that just brings the strength out in you or something. You know?
I guess. But, you don't get to, he doesn't get to see it. Everybody else gets to look at her bebopping around, but he doesn't. He's looking down at the ground because he's trying to keep his neck, like.
Yeah, no kidding.
It's hot. It seems like a rough deal.
High 80s, sun shining down on you, and you got a sweaty girl on your shoulders.
That's right.
Weight down, spilling beer on your head.
Exactly. Seems like a rough deal for some of those guys. I'm just saying.
Well, that was the equivalent back then of holding a cell phone up. You're not watching the concert.
That's right.
Back then, they just had chicks on their shoulders.
Yeah, you're missing the show for something better.
Yeah.
You hope.
You're just looking at kneecaps the whole time.
That's right.
But before we get to the footage, the credits. You watch the credits, and I urge people, if they already have this set and haven't watched the credits yet, to do it. And people who eventually pick up this set, watch the credits, because there's so much to watch there. They section the screen off in to 4 different screens, sometimes 3 different screens, and there's different things going on in each one. You can't watch them all at once. Mm-hmm. It's I feel like I need to go back and watch the credits 4 or 5 different times and just focus on one panel to see what's going on, because it's all the extra footage that you didn't see, in the DVD to begin with. It's just extra stuff.
That's exactly what I did. I rewatched them over and over. Yeah, and focused on each square because I couldn't. It was brutal at first, trying to my eyes are darting all around. Was that Ben? Rewinding it 3 times. Who's it? And it's okay, finally, just focus on one corner of the screen the whole time, and then start over. And
there's a mother load of GIF or GIF, if you're one of those kind of people, GIF material in those credits.
Yes, I got to figure out how to cut the screen. So you can just have the corner that you want. You know what I mean?
I would just pull out a phone and videotape it and make a GIF from that. Focus in on whatever.
That sounds.
Somebody just heard my secret. But yeah.
Do you need to edit that out?
But they also, in those credits, they list where the live footage was from, which is really cool.
Yes.
And then they, and see, here's the funny thing, Donna. I originally bought this set back in 2006. I watched it once. Okay. So I pulled it out for our podcast to watch it this week. And before I watched it like a second time. I had pulled up to see how much it was on Amazon. And then I notice in the listing it says bonus footage. And I'm going, bonus tracks? What? And I go back at the same time. I'm like, oh, crap, it has extras. And that's when I discovered, oh, crap, this has bonus footage in it. Yeah, so it's got like Cruiser. What else is on there? Man.
I know. Now I can't think of anything.
Strap Me In.
Yes.
And there's a guy during that, by the way. It reminded me of Cleveland. When Strap Me In starts, you hear somebody go, Candy-O! Candy-O! That chick from Cleveland. But they Drive, Touch and Go. I can't remember. Let me look at the listing.
I didn't see it on there.
Drive, Touch and Go, Everything You Say, which is awesome. Boy, Ben gets into that song on that bonus footage.
Yes.
Everything You Say. And then, of course, they have the trailer that you can watch.
Right.
But that's just cool footage, and it's the whole song. It's not interlaced with other footage or whatever. It's just them performing the song, during that whatever concert it was. And there you go.
Yeah, very awesome.
Which, by the way, I bet you didn't know this. That if you go to the home menu, when you first put in the DVD, if you punch in 444, you get footage of Take What You Want.
Baloney.
Oh, I'm serious.
No.
Totally serious. That was a thing back in the day with Star Wars when they released Star Wars on DVD. There'd always be like, if you punch in, blah, 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 it'll show bloopers from The Phantom Menace or whatever.
Really?
I was kind of hoping they did something like that on this.
I think you're just making all that up.
No, I'm serious. That's true about Star Wars. But I was just kind of wishing they had something like that on this.
Yeah.
Or if you typed in something, zebra, something like that.
You had to discover the secret code word from watching the footage.
Yeah, it's zebra.
The secret word is
zebra. Horse. Pony.
Wow.
All right. So the CD that's included with is the audio from the live footage on the DVD.
Yes.
I don't know if they augmented it any or if it's been switched around. It's kind of hard to tell, but the way I came to that conclusion was with Tonight She Comes. Okay. Because in that live version, those background vocals are just, so awesome. And it's the same. Nice. The same step. But I know a lot of people may not have listened to this. They're like, well, we've already got, the
live versions.
Versats, and so forth. But it's not bad. It's, they make it sound like it's all the same concert, but it's not.
Right.
That's the magic in it all. But, and nothing is surprising. It's got the same songs that you always hear. Tonight She Comes is probably the most surprising. Just the fact that it wasn't on any studio album, it's on the greatest hits. But it's a nice little addition. Yeah. Because if you think about it, at this time there was never an official live recording of the Cars.
Right.
The Ersatz one is a bootleg. I don't know if you want to call it a bootleg. I'd call it a merchandising in Europe of something they didn't have the right to merchandise.
That may be the definition of bootleg.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess so. So, that was a big deal.
Yeah.
This is before the Agora was put out. Right.
Which I consider the Agora to be the only official live album they've put out. This because because this hasn't come from, this isn't all one show. This is just
all one show. Yeah.
I did not listen to the audio CD. I think when I first got the set, I think I listened to it once, but yeah, it wasn't anything, because I think I already had the Elma combo at that time, and so there's a lot of great live performances, but some are just most I don't listen to regularly except for a few. So like like Elma Combo.
Well, I'll go through phases where I'm just in the mood to listen to them live, and I'll just play the live stuff that I have, the radio shows and that kind of stuff. But they were so tight musically that they all kind of sound the same. You got the variations like in night spots to listen for, or like I was saying with Tonight She Comes. But other than that, a lot of stuff is just, it kind of sounds the same.
Yeah. Sometimes you just get such a great energy from some of the shows that elevate it a little bit, because the Agora is really, really good. Elma Combo's really, really good. I was listening to, what am I listening to right now? I think it's I want to say it's the Universal Amphitheater show that I've been listening to recently. Yeah, 1979 Universal Amphitheater show is really good, and there are, every once in a while you get those little ad libs or those little different things that you do, but for the most part, like you said, they're pretty similar because they're a very consistent band.
Yeah, and so this whole set, just to kind of rehash what I said earlier, that if you can find this for $40 or under, go for it. I wouldn't put out the money, $100 or whatever, for it to buy it new. But I think it's worth looking up. It's worth if you find it, buy it.
Yeah, I agree. I love that I have it, and I love watching it. But yeah, I wouldn't. And because that it'll go through other seasons and it'll get cheaper again, and so just wait until it goes down in price, because it will eventually.
It won't on eBay. I'll tell you that much right now.
Well.
Greedy eBay guys. It makes me kind of think, though, that of the things that I have, and I know other people in the Fanorama might feel the same way, things that you bought originally that you still have that are very hard to find, and you think about your own demise and what happens to this stuff, and it pains me to think that whenever I go, my family is going to go, car's unlocked. Okay, who wants this? Nobody? Okay, we'll Goodwill it.
Right, I know.
And I feel like going through and putting a list of 10 people you could possibly get it to or whatever.
Yes, with their contact information, and just make it easy for them.
People who would pay for postage to get it sent to them or whatever.
Yes.
I feel like I need to make a Fanorama will.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've thought that before too. I have totally thought about that, because my family will just, if they even thrift store it, that would be bonus.
It'd be a disgrace. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Craig, buddy, I think you need a will. I think you need, if you don't have a will yet for the Cars Museum, you need to do something, man.
How many times do you think he gets asked, hey, or comments like, hey, if you need someone to leave that stuff to, if you're looking for a place to get rid of that stuff, I bet he gets that a lot.
Well, I don't know how old Craig is. I don't even know if Craig even listens to us. But a word of the wise, my friend. Don't wait until you die. There's got to be a point in time where you got to go, maybe I need to start shoveling this stuff towards people who, are going to appreciate it, the young people, the young folks.
Right, and carry it on.
Because I was very, very similar to him, that I had a lot of stuff, but, it sat in boxes in storage. Yeah. And that's kind of like with all my CDs and things like that now. I mean, I literally have to go through and go, oh, God, I forgot about that. I need to listen to that again.
Yeah.
And there's going to come a point in time where old man Dave is not going to be able to lean over to pick out the CD. And, you need to get it to people.
Yeah. Here's something that I was kind of thinking about, though. So they put this out in 2006. And like you said, it was kind of, Rick had some solo stuff going on there at the same time, but there wasn't really anything going on in the Cars world at that point, right? I mean,
no. I mean, Rick had just put out Nexter Day, and this was a part of his his website. I think that's where the news first came out that they're gonna, release footage and stuff like that. And like I said, they kind of tandemed it with him doing solo stuff with the different times thing, and it was all going to be Aaron who was kind of in charge of both things.
Okay. Because here's the thing, because here's what I'm leading up to with this. Last year was the 40th anniversary of the debut. They were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. This year you've got the 40th anniversary of Candio coming up in less than 2 weeks, I think, right? June 6th,
Yeah.
June 4th?
Yes, June 6th.
And so, like, it seems to me, and I'm not a marketing major, I don't have a degree in any of this kind of stuff, but it just seems to me like this would be the time to put out, like all eyes are still on the cars.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got their that new Capital One commercial. There was just came out a trailer for Stranger Things 3 featuring moving in stereo, right?
Yes. I thought of you.
I'm sure you did.
And the fact you've never seen where that originated.
I know. It's on my list one of these days. My whole point being, this would be like, this is a time for them to do another thing like this. Like in this last year is when they should have been putting out another DVD set of, new releases and more behind the scenes and all of this stuff. Like why are they not doing this?
If you remember what I said though, when I asked John Hughes about it, it's not the fact that Rhino's not doing anything. It's the fact that where it's coming from, which is Rick's vault, there's nothing coming from Rick. If you don't have anything from Rick, you don't have anything.
I know. Okay, so then
it's up to him.
Let me be more pointed then. Rick. Why are you not doing this, dude?
Yeah. Because he's doing his art thing right now.
Well, I understand. He's got his markers out. He's doing his thing. But
well, in all fairness too, he's gone through a life change, so he's dealing with that too. He's got a personal life.
All right.
So
I'm not trying to attack him. I'm just saying there are, just like with Aaron, was the one that directed and edited all this. That's great. There are people who are willing to step in.
Yeah.
It'd
be nice.
It would be.
Well, hey, we've
amazing.
got that summer stuff to look forward to that he talked about.
Yes, that's good. I guess I know I'm greedy, but I can't let go of the fact that there is a panorama, more than one.
Yes.
Panorama concert out there that was obviously chopped up to put in this DVD. Go back to the original footage, have whoever do what it takes to remaster it. It can't be a ton. And just put it out.
Yeah. Either audio or video or both.
Or both. Do a little deluxe thing like this. Yeah. The panorama concert on DVD with an audio CD in it. I'd pay $40 for that. Yeah.
You know what? If Rhino would just put you and me in charge of the cars.
Why haven't they done this yet?
We would happily do that job, Rhino.
Happily.
Yeah. I'll be the one to call Rick and bug him.
Okay. Good, because I wouldn't. I would have to be the sunshine and rainbows.
Says the woman who's basically phone message stalked Roy Thomas Baker.
Hey, I only left him a couple messages.
Oh, just a couple. Okay.
Just a couple. I backed off. It might be time for me to contact him again, though. It's been a while.
Roy Thomas has gone silent on Twitter.
Oh, he retweeted something in my not very long. Oh, he retweeted something just the other day. My Bye Bye Love video.
Oh, he's kind of back then, but he's been absent.
He's laying low, maybe.
Laying low in the desert, no Wi-Fi.
I was just gonna say, I wonder if he's getting ready to make a break for it again.
Right.
If he's
he might
run for the border.
All right. So pretty much that's our show. The car's unlocked. Hey, we recommend it.
Yep.
And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with a new show about what? Hell if I know. So we'll be back.
Do we have anything for the scroll?
No, not that I'm aware of.
All right.
Come on, our listeners don't type. You know that, Donna. Yeah, BB, send us something. BB will do it.
BB only wants to talk to Rico.
Hey, BB just wants to talk to Rico.
Yeah, he's bypassing us. He's just using us to get to Rico.
Yeah, I think BB is friends with Rico on Facebook before I got to be friends with him.
Oh, man. We know his priorities, don't we?
Yeah. No, actually, he probably friend requested Rico, and then, somebody has to, on Rico's behalf, accept that friend request. So
Oh, yeah, that's right.
whoever's in charge, wink,
Yes.
wink. Yeah.
Right. Rico's lackey.
Yeah, Rico's lucky. Got it.
Toady. Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Any last words, Donna?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Would you like to sign off tonight?
Do I have to say stay fresh cheese bags?
Well, yes, we have a contract with Becky at this point.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Becky's expecting it. What do you think Becky's listening to our podcast all the way through? Just so she can hear Stay Fresh Cheese Bags.
She didn't even listen to the middle content. She
No.
just got to the last 10 minutes.
Oh, she gets on YouTube and she takes her finger and just scrolls that sucker all the way to the end just so she can hear Stay Fresh Cheese Bags.
That's right.
She gets a little kick out of it.
So if I say stay fresh cheese bags, are you going to go, bye?
Jeez, no. No.
Well, that hardly seems fair.
Yeah. So now the end of this podcast has turned into two teenagers talking on the phone. You say goodbye first. No, you say it.
Okay, I'm going to hang up now.
You're gonna hang up. I'm hanging up. I'm
Are you
hanging
still
up.
there? Are you still there?
Yeah. Huh? What?
What?
Yeah.
I can hear you breathing.
All right. Well,
All right.
everyone, thank you for listening. We'll be back in a couple weeks. And stay fresh, cheese bags.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Night Thoughts, the Cars podcast. Wherever you found us, iTunes, SoundCloud, or YouTube, make sure to subscribe and leave a review. Send us an email for the Midnight Scroll at nightthoughtspodcast@gmail.com. As always, Night Thoughts reserves the right to edit or not read an email on the air. You can follow us on Twitter at The Cars Podcast. Grab yourself a podcast t-shirt at tpublic.com/user/nightthoughts. All the cool kids are wearing them. Oh, and finally, search for The Cars Night Thoughts on Facebook and join our group page. P.S. I am totally Team Rick.